Hi everybody, welcome to ITG's Listen and Learn Conference. I'm really honored and thrilled to be a part of it. My name is Brianne Borden and I am visiting assistant professor of trumpet at the Crane School of Music at SUNY Potsdam. I am also co-owner and CEO of Yoga for All Musicians, which is a virtual yoga studio. We're staffed entirely by professional musicians who also specialize in teaching yoga and meditation and breath work practices. We've all done graduate level research on the topic, so I'm really excited to be bringing some of that information to you and sharing what I love about yoga and how it can apply to trumpet players. So I'll start by telling you a little bit about what yoga is, and for my purposes with using yoga for musicians, it's a way of building strength and flexibility and mobility in your body so that you're using your body in the most efficient way possible, and also hopefully preventing against injuries, since repetitive motion injuries are so common for musicians. It also is a really awesome way to calm the nervous system and deal with anxiety, whether it's generalized anxiety or performance-based anxiety. It has tools to combat that. Yoga is a few different concepts, and the three concepts that I take and apply to musicians is asana, which is the physical practice, pranayama, which is breath work, and then meditation. So those are the three kind of aspects that I use. Today we're going to be doing more of the physical practice and breath work. And with breath work, sometimes meditation happens while you're doing breath work. So it's almost sometimes a result. There are all sorts of different types of meditation, and that's one of my favorite things about breath work, is that you can get into a meditation with it. So you don't need to be in yoga clothes at all. I do recommend, if you're wearing shoes that elevate you on an uneven plane, so high heels or anything of the sort, to take those off. And then stand if you're not yet standing. So start by closing your eyes. And just notice what your natural stance, your natural posture is. These are likely habits that you've developed over your years. Also through being a musician and playing your trumpet, we develop specific habits. And without altering anything just yet, that practice of just noticing where your body is and how it feels, that is a practice of interoception and proprioception. So interoception is noticing how your body feels on the inside. And that in itself is a bit of a injury preventer, because then we're able to listen to the signals our body is telling us. If you're over practicing to the point of an overuse injury, or maybe inefficiently using your body, you can kind of hear those signals and respond to them before it's too late. And then proprioception is awareness of where your body is in space. And that's really helpful sometimes for the more physical instruments. But it's helpful for us too, so that you can know if you're holding your trumpet in the most efficient way, with how your wrist is aligned. You don't have to look at it to notice it. You'll just know that there's a little bit of an arc in your wrist, or it's not what you have been told to do by your teacher. So after you've taken stock of where your body is, you can open your eyes again if they were still closed. And I'm going to set you up in what I call foundational alignment. And this is the anatomical neutral. This is where your body is set up to be in the most efficient way possible, being used in the most efficient way possible. So we start with your feet. And I meant to say too, if you have shoes on, I'm barefoot. I recommend that you practice this barefoot. You don't have to be in yoga clothes, but especially if you've got heeled shoes on, I recommend taking those off. So starting with your feet, Make sure they're about hip-width distance apart, and if you don't know how wide that is, I imagine about 2 fists can fit in between the balls of my feet. And point all 10 toes forward. An easier way for me to envision this is your second toes are parallel to one of another. And then begin to rock your weight forward and backwards and side to side. In yoga, we have the concept of the 4 corners of your feet. And that's the base of your big toes, the base of your pinky toes, and then the inner and outer edges of your heels. So start to recognize the 4 corners of both of your feet. And then see if you can find stillness and balance on all 4 corners of both feet. So you may initially have had the tendency to lean more towards the balls of your feet or sit your weight towards your heels. So you might already start to feel a little bit new, a little bit different, maybe even uncomfortable. And that's totally fine. It's part of the change, part of the shift of using your body in a more efficient way. So then take just a little bit of a bend in your knees, avoid locking them out. If you were ever in a choir, you've probably been told this before. Then we move up to your pelvis, your hips. So take your hands to the bony part of your hips. And then start to rock your pelvis forward. I imagine as if you're spilling a soup bowl forward, and I also call this duck butt for kind of obvious reasons. And then spill your soup bowl backwards. I call this scared dog. And you can kind of move in between these 2 ends of the spectrum here, spilling forward and spilling back. And you may have a tendency for one or the other. Most people do. And see if you can find a happy medium where your pelvic bowl, which is literally a bowl, right? You're not spilling your soup in one direction or the other. It's neutral. And then relax your hands back down next to your hips. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. And then imagine that you had a puppet string at the crown of your head and it's pulling you straight up. Can you lift up through the crown of your head, elongate through the back of your neck? Good, and close your eyes again. Notice if there are any similarities or differences. And in yoga, we practice non-attachment. So you may be thinking, wow, this is totally different from how I normally stand. And that's okay, you just acknowledge that. Just notice that that's not good, that's not bad. Or you might say, hey, I'm perfect at this already, I'm doing great. That's also great too. So from here, we're going to move into a couple of stretches that target the areas of the body that are specifically tight or typically injured for trumpet players. So you can open your eyes if you haven't yet. And those 3 areas that I target with trumpet players are your wrists, your neck, and your shoulders. So we'll start with wrists. Take your hands out in front of you and clasp your palms, your fingers. So relax your shoulders, your elbows down, and I encourage you to stay in your alignment that we just set up, even as we move through other parts of your body. Okay, so your fingers are clasped, and start to draw the infinity sign left to right. This is lubricating your wrist joints. Creates a little bit more mobility through them. And switch directions, and that really kind of messes with my head a little bit, and might with yours too. And then relax them down, shake your hands out. Take your right hand out in front of you with your palm away from you. Take your left hand to your right fingertips and just gently pull back. Make sure you still have a little bit of a bend in your right arm here. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, shine your right palm towards you. Take your left fingertips to the back of your fingers, maybe all 5 fingers, and guide your palm back. So what this does is it's bringing a little bit more openness and mobility to your wrist area and helps combat injuries such as carpal tunnel syndrome. We do all have 2 carpal tunnels. They're not bad, they do really good things for us. They get a bad rap. And then release your right hand down. We'll switch to the other side. And I am going to start connecting breath to this because that makes sure that you're still breathing and you're with me here. So take your left hand out in front of you. Take an inhale, and then take your right hand to your left fingers. Exhale, gently pull back. Now for me, because I have had injuries from how I used to hold my instrument back before I taught yoga, I've got one side that feels totally different than the other. And even if you've never been injured, that might just be the case too. Our wrists serve different purposes when we play the trumpet. So our left wrist has a tendency to have a little bit of lateral flexion. Our right wrist is generally a little more straight. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release your right hand, shine your left palm back towards you. Take your right hand to the back of your left hand and gently pull back. One more inhale here. And exhale, release your hands down. So now to get into your shoulders, these are super simple, really good for just before you play. On your inhale, shrug your shoulders up. Exhale, back and down. Again, inhale to shrug them up. Exhale, back and down. Let's do 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And last one, breathe in. And breathe out. So now to get into your neck, take a deep breath in. Exhale as you drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. So you might already feel some sensation through your left side of your neck, maybe even the top of your shoulder. If you'd like a little more sensation and to deepen this stretch, take your right hand to the top of your left shoulder. Keep both shoulders relaxed. Breathe in. Exhale, release your right hand down, drop your chin towards your chest, and then draw your left ear to your left shoulder. Again, you may be feeling a little asymmetrical here, and that's totally normal. You can stay, or if you'd like more sensation, take your left hand to the top of your right shoulder. Inhale. And exhale, drop your chin back towards your chest. We'll take a little bit more movement here, so inhale, right ear, right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Now super gently draw your head back up to what is neutral. And so hopefully you're feeling a little more open in your body. That's a really awesome routine to go through right before you practice so that you can make sure that the muscles and joints in your body are warm and set up to have you play safely through your practice session. So lastly, we're going to be doing a breathwork exercise, and this is my favorite breathwork exercise because it is almost a direct link into your nervous system to deal with anxiety, and it's called alternate nostril breathing. In Sanskrit, it's called Nadi Shodhana. And what it does is your nostrils have connections to your nervous system. So when you start to feel anxious, get that flight or fight sensation, you're breathing through your nose and controlling the breathing through your nose can help relieve that anxiety. So start by taking your right hand and then your pointer finger and your middle finger, fold them to your palm. Now flip your palm towards you. Close your right nostril with your thumb. Inhale through your left nostril. Close your left nostril with your ring finger. Open your right nostril. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close right. Open left. Exhale left. Close your eyes. Inhale left. Close left. Open right. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close right. Open left. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close left. Open right. Exhale. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. And exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. And release your hand down. Keep your eyes closed. We'll come back to the concept of yoga as a practice of body awareness. And just know if you've lost the alignment that we set up, right? Maybe your feet inch closer together, maybe you started dumping your weight into one leg or the other. That's totally normal. You bring yourself back to your most efficient posture, your foundational alignment. And ask yourself, check in with how you're feeling after all of that. Maybe there's something that you can implement into your daily practice, right? That didn't take much time. Or maybe you have a student that might benefit from any anxiety management, or hopefully body awareness and efficiency. You can open your eyes if they're still closed. Thank you all so much for having me and watching this session. I have really enjoyed it. Again, my name is Brianne Borden, and feel free, you can find me on all of the social media. If you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And if you're interested in more yoga for musicians, again, my business is Yoga for All Musicians, and we are a virtual yoga studio, so it doesn't matter where on earth you are. We'd love to have you in class. Thank you all again.